What's up, guys? Tim Little. Welcome back to TacticalBassin. Today we are going back subsurface, underwater, to give you guys some epic footage of fish eating soft plastic jerkbaits. Matt's done videos in the past talking about different ways to rig them, but a jerkbait or a soft plastic jerkbait like a Fluke is a great way to get that real erratic action, that dying bait fish action that lets you fish in an area where you can't throw a traditional jerkbait. You know, traditional jerkbaits have exposed trebles and they can get hung up in tree branches and grass and those sort of things. But a soft plastic jerkbait rigged the correct way is an awesome, awesome bait to catch fish in structure. So let's head below, underneath the surface, and check out some awesome footage. So you can see this is a Fluke Texas rigged, weedless. See that shimmy? You know, one thing I've noticed watching this footage over and over again is the importance of bait action on the fall. And you can see that Fluke right there with that super line hook. It's got a real nice shimmy as it falls, almost like a senko. See how fast that thing spit it? Crazy. So typically how these videos happen, we'll be fishing and we'll have fish follow the boat. We'll grab the camera and stick it down if I don't dive down and put the camera underneath. But these are all followers of baits that we got to come in close and get up close and personal on the camera. So that right there, hopefully you guys got to see, that was a different rigged way to rig a senko. Matt did a whole other video on that I'll link to up here. It's got like over 350,000 views. It's awesome way to rig it, so I'll make sure I link that up in the top. So that fish right there almost was like not really interested until that twitch, and then you can see that instinct kick in. And that's what's so cool about these style of baits, you know, reaction baits. You get that reaction, that the way those fish, those bass are hardwired, you can make them eat even if they don't want to. A lot of this footage, watching it while editing it, you know, the fish almost seem not interested. But you get that right twitch at the right time when it's in front of their face, they do that. There's that special rigging again. That's that owner centering pin, the CPS centering pin with almost a drop shot hook rigged through the nose of the bait. And what's cool about that, besides the hookup ratio, one thing you'll notice in most all these videos, these clips, is the bass are eating the bait just head first. Even some of it where they come and just mouth it, they come up and just nip the tip of the head. And that setup right there is lights out. That's great hookup ratio. Right there. Go ahead and freeze frame that. You can see right there, that you can see the hook's not even close to the fish's mouth. That bass has just the head only. That's where that nose hooked rigging works great. I think most of these are little guys, only like 1.5, 2 pounders, but there's some toads that came in after. We got one at the very end. I'll show you. She was just over 7 pounds. Took a while to catch her, but that's at the very end. It's so cool to see these fish underwater in their natural habitat, just to see how they were not only react to other fish, but everything that's around them. The bluegill, how they use the shade lines, how they use the grass. Just really, there's so much to be learned from this type of footage. Ooh. It's crazy how fast they just suck that bait in. It's so hard to get fish that want to come in close enough to the camera. You know, the GoPro shoots such a wide angle that everything looks so far away, but these fish are actually coming just within feet of the lens. So many of them eat way far out where you can't see them. That's that Texas rigged fluke. You can see how it kind of just wants to sit. How it just wants to fall. Super subtle. You get that nose hook, or you put like a little nail weight in the head, and you get that thing to spiral down like a dying bait fish. So many different ways you can rig these things. Again, right there, just nipping the head. I went ahead and freeze framed that. Just came up just for a little touch, a little taste. Again, right there. That's where that exposed drop shot hook or mosquito hook is perfect. Lighter line, those you know, fish that are those fish that are line shy or pressured. When you have that exposed hook, you don't have to worry about super heavy line or heavy gear, and you can get away with lighter line, 6-8 pound test, little drop shot hook, and great hookup ratio. You don't have to really worry about pinning out the hooks either. Again, I will link to that video. It's a must watch. Look at that one. It's a must watch. It's a way that we started tinkering with a year or two ago, and have had tremendous success with it. We'll definitely link down to the video description as well. One other thing I learned too is whenever these fish are schooled up, it seems like the smaller ones, the more aggressive ones, always eat first. But when the big one decides that it's her time, they get out of the way. So that fish in the background's big. That's the 7 pound. There's another tank back there. Looks like a sub back there, like little great whites. But you know, I'm down holding the camera. I can't really see what's going on, and Matt's talking to me. And you can see right here, we're trying to trigger her. She wasn't having it at first. So she'd stay way off of the camera, and we'd have to make long casts. And eventually she just swims over and just sucks it in. Looks just like great whites out in the ocean, just cruising, waiting to do some damage. Oh, so right there you can kind of tell how she kind of started moving faster. You can tell she's starting to get interested again. It's like she wants to but doesn't want to. All it's going to take is the right twitch at the right time to get her to commit. Again, she eats right here, I think. You'll see her turn. Oh yeah, right here. Turns and smokes it. And then the fight's on. Big old gut, big old head shakes. But guys, a fluke is a great way to get those fish that are pressured or that don't want to fully commit. You can get those the twitch right in front of their face, and just they're hardwired to eat, and they just have to eat. So any of those reaction baits, those jerk baits, the soft plastic jerk baits, are great baits to get fish like this to commit. Even though they don't want to, they have to. Big old eyeballs, bug-eyed. So cool. So So cool.
We hope you guys enjoyed watching those fish interact with that fluke as much as we did. You know, we rigged it a couple different ways. The fish, depending on the way it's rigged, seem to react to it a little bit differently. That heavier hook, you get that fast fall, that flutter. Some of them even eat it on the fall itself. But the big bites, those aggressive bites, come when you're working that thing reactive and aggressive. We were rigging it a few different ways on that EWG style hook, as well as on that nose rig. You can also do that nose rig in a weedless method with a weedless hook. And we'll give you links to all that stuff down in the video description. But again, it's just so fun to watch how fired up those fish get. They get that little bit of interest, they start creeping, start looking, and then when that bait cuts to the side, I mean, they go 0 to 100. They hit it so hard. Stealing it from each other, running out of the pack to get it. It's amazing. Again, there's different ways to rig it, but the big thing was just watching how those fish interact with that bait and how you can trigger them. We'd already watched that underwater jerkbait footage, watching that aggressive, getting the sound in there, seeing those fish really lash out. But that fluke lets you get into some places that you can't take that jerkbait. You can get it in around the grass, in around the wood. You can get those same bites, that same trigger, that same reaction, but you can get it in places where you just can't get a jerkbait. It's a great 1-2 punch. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you soon.